car companies claim that their cars are unbreakable, and some car companies just keep quiet because they know their cars are very unreliable. And yes, today I made a video of the top 10 most unreliable cars according to Consumer Reports. Yes, I'm Junior, and you're watching Junior on Cars. Let's get into the video, and we start off with the Volvo XC90. Well, from 2016 above, or I don't know when it was revealed, but from the current to the previous, it has been having a lot of problems. But I'm not going to mention the electric version because this is more of an internal combustion problem than electric problem. So let's get into the common problems, and we start off with the in-car electronics. The in-car electronics in the XC90 has been a common problem since it came out. Some say that the in-car electronics do fail in most of the time, such as the power equipment in the car. Some say that the USBs don't even work or their aux inputs, so I have no idea if is that true, but I don't know. Some, which is very rare, say that their brakes also do fail most of the time, so it has been reported that the brakes in the XC90 do fail. And if you're living in my country, you know that if you take all the options on the XC90, the 2022 model will cost you around 1 million rands. And if you have a car that has 1 million rands, you should make sure that your emission systems work 99% of the time. Well, the XC90 is a bit of a problem with that issue, which is the emission system. Well, the emission system of the XC90 don't work most of the time, have been reported. So hopefully that will be also sorted this year. And some say the vehicle's controls are a little stiff. Well, I don't know that issue if it's a common or a rare problem. Well, as far as I know, I've never sit in an XC90, so hopefully I'll be able to review one and not sit in one. So it is not a big of a problem for me. I will tell you in the near future. And let's get into the second car, which is the Ford EcoSport. Yes, as we all know, the Ford EcoSport looks a little bit more like a hamburger cheese from Rocker Mamas. Well, the common problem in the car is the transmission issues. Even though it is a very affordable four-door crossover, it is a bit of a problem with the transmissions, like I said. Well, whether you're having an automatic or a manual, it is a bit of a problem with the transmissions, and 99 of the people say that there is an issue with the transmission issue. So yeah, I don't know about that one. And also there's also a common problem with the brakes. Some say as time goes by, the brakes in the EcoSport does get a lot wobbly. So I don't know if is that also a true comment. Is it a common problem or just a rare problem that many have, or maybe just some have fender benders with the car and just say it's a common problem. Well, some have also noticed, well, I have noticed actually, because since I have sat in one, the backseat space is a bit tight. Well, the backseat space in the EcoSport is a bit of a problem because of the sloping roof line. So the sloping roof line does cause a lot of issues, as we all know, in many cars such as the Opel Mokka and the Volkswagen Taygo. If you haven't watched that video, click onto my main channel to go and watch that video. Well, besides that, also there is also a problem with the petrol mileage. Well, some say that their cars don't do as much as the petrol mileage has been claimed by the company. So not sure if it's a common problem, but I don't think it is such a bit of a problem. Well, the biggest problem that the biggest ones we're actually gonna go into is the Jeep Wrangler. Yes, as we all know, the Jeep Wrangler has been voted with 0 stars in safety, which is a bit of an issue because I do love the Jeep Wrangler. So yeah, but there is lots of issues besides the 0-star safety issue. Well, the issues with the Jeep Wrangler are common ones, which is the steering and the suspension. Well, the steering of the Jeep Wrangler have been reported, and some can't even steer in the longest run. So it is a bit of an issue with that, and some say that it doesn't respond quickly to the wheel. So have no idea about that. And the suspension issue is very common, as I have seen in my research. Well, the suspension issue, they mean that the suspension does get a little bit tired if you go a lot of off-roading for a long time. So yeah. And also there's, last but not least, an in-car electronic issue. Well, the in-car electronics, I mean the dashboard lights and everything, don't 99% of the time switch on. So it's a bit of a common problem for that one in 3 of the cars that I've mentioned. I mean 2 of the cars that I've mentioned. So most of these cars needs to be fixed with the in-car electronics, such as the new car that I'm about to introduce, which is the Tesla Model S. from the old to the new, it has been having common problems also with its in-car electronics. There's the in-car electronics in the Tesla. Even though it has a flat screen portrait on its dashboard, it does have a common problem with the in-car electronics. Some say that the portrait layout of the infotainment system doesn't want to switch on. So I don't know if it's a common problem or maybe just a rare problem. Well, besides that, also it will be sending you a whole lot of times to the auto body shop, because some say that some of them have to be frequently repairs from the body system. What I mean when I mean body system, I mean the sensors of the car 99% of the time does have an issue of sensing most of the things, such as, you know, a car, you set it into cruise control, instead of it stopping automatically, it will fail and not work. So it looks like a common problem. And some also have reported that the range in winter is very horrible. Well, I do know this one because most electric cars in winter, -3 or -4 degrees down, it doesn't really do good on its range because of the batteries don't get warm, and it is very, very bad for the car to, you know, catch its range. Well, is it as good as the car that I'm about to rate, which is the BMW One Series Diesel? From 2011 to 2019, as we all know, the car has been here for a long time, and it has had common problems with the engine issues. Well, the engine issues, I mean the emission systems, are very horrible, and some have reported that the car doesn't want to start 99% of the time, and some have also reported that the gearbox are a bit wumsy. And as we all know, it has to be rated, and the reliability score of it was rated at 87. So for me, honestly speaking, it doesn't sound as bad as it sounds, but honestly speaking, it's not that bad. Well, let's get into number 6, which is the Mercedes-Benz C-Class. From 2014 to today, as we all know, the Mercedes-Benz C-Class, it looks very horrible. Just look at it. Look at it. It doesn't look any nicer. Well, the C-Class does have common problems. Well, before I get into the common problems, let me tell you what I mean it doesn't look nice. Well, the top of the range version looks extremely nice if you have, you know, the alloy wheels and everything. If you just have the cheaper model, it just looks very horrible. It just looks like a reject for Mercedes-Benz. Well, let's get into the common problems of the car. Well, the common problems of the car are the engine electronics. Yes, the engine electronics of the car do fail 89% of the time since it was rated. So it is a bit of a problem with the C-Class. So if you have a C-Class, make sure that your car is serviced most of the time. Well, service is going to be the last thing in your problem, because the exhaust system is also a bit of an issue. Some say that the exhaust systems don't even sound as they do, and some say it has a bit of an issue of sounding very horrible. And also the common problem in this car are the suspension issues. Yes, some say that their suspension, they do get 99% of the time suspension failures. And it has been reported in Germany and in America of the suspension issues. So it is very, very horrible. And it was rated as a reliability at 80%, 87%. So not even close to even good, but it's not that bad compared to its little brother, which is horrible. Let's get into number 7, which is the VW TRoc. Yes, as we all know, the TRoc was introduced in 2018 to 2022. It has been here with us, and 2022 models are still having the common problems since 2018. And the common problems are the electronics and the engine. Yes, the electronics do fail 99% of the time in the TRoc. Even though I do love the R-Line version because it has the T-Cross R-Line exhaust in it, but there is a bit of a problem with the electronics, and also the engine does fail 99% of the time as been voted. So I don't know about that issue, but it is a common issue. The most common issue is the bodywork of the car. Well, the bodywork, I mean the peeling off of the painting. Well, some have reported that their bodywork of the car the body paint of the car do peel off faster than it's supposed to stay on. Well, some also have reported that electric parking brake may just release itself unexpectedly. Well, that is a common issue in new cars. Some say that their cars don't even brake properly, and some say that if you put it in neutral, it doesn't even stay neutral. Step on the accelerator, it will move. But the handbrake, the parking brake problem is a common issue in today's cars. some parking brakes do fail most of the time, and this car was rated as a reliability at 85%, so it's not bad, even though it's 3 points down than the Mercedes-Benz C-Class. So not horrible, but it's still horrible. Let's get into number 8, which is the Audi Q2. It was introduced in 2016 until 2022, and from my perspective, it looks crap, unfortunately. And surprise, surprise, and I'm happy about this, there is common problems with the Q2, and most of the common problems are the electronics. Yes, most of the electronics in the Q2 do fail, and they fail very badly. Some say that the infotainment system is supposed to switch on and it doesn't, and some say that the dashboard doesn't want to switch on until you give it some time. So that is a problem, a common problem. And it's gonna be much of a problem if you choose the manual version, because the clutch is mostly the problem. Yeah, Audi failed on that one. Well, the clutch is a bit of a problem because some say that the clutches have snapped 87% of the time, and some say that the clutch doesn't want to put it into gears, and some say that the clutch does make 90% of the time noise. And there's also a problem with the brakes. Yes, there's also a bit of a problem with the Q2's brakes. The Q2's brakes have been unreliable from 2016 to 2022, so it's a bit of a problem. And I'm so glad to announce that the Audi Q2 will be discontinued in 2022. Yes, this year is the last year to have a Q2, and if you have one, you have the most nonsense rarest car in the world. Well, let's leave that car and let's get into number 9, which is the Jaguar XF. Well, the Jaguar XF from 2007 to 2015 has been looking more like a Jag. As we all know, Jimmy Clarkson said that. Well, the common problems in the Jag, it has a faulty hose clumps. Yes, the hose clumps does have most of the time a bit of a problem with the emissions. So honestly speaking, I don't know what a hose clumps is, but it is a common problem in the XF since it was revealed in 2007. Well, there's also a common problem with the alloys cracking. Yes, most have reported that the alloys have been cracking down. I have no idea how does an alloy crack in a Jaguar, but apparently it has been reported common times at the Jaguar service station. So yeah, there's a big problem with the Jag. Let's get into the final car, and before I get into the final car, please don't forget to follow our channel and hop onto our Instagram page, which is Junior on Cars, and follow more of my content. Well, let's get into the last car, which is the BMW 5 Series. Well, the BMW 5 Series has been here with us since 2010 until 2017. But the most common problem with this car is the engine issues. Yes, there's common engine issues with the car. Honestly speaking, before I get into more of the engine issues, I would like to say the 5 Series for me looks much more grown up and much more look like a business class car. Well, let's get into the business class problems. Well, the engine issues, like I said, is very common. Well, the engine doesn't want to switch on most of the times, and has been reported that the electronics of the car are not cooperating with the car system, so it is a bit of a problem. And last but not least, there's also a common problem with the exhaust. Well, the exhaust most of the time does take out more emission fumes, and some say they do hear most of rattling noise from the exhaust system. And that car was rated for reliability as the highest one in this list as 89%. And if I forgot to mention, the Jaguar XF was rated for 86 and the Audi Q2 for 82. So as you can tell, it was highest in this list. That's why it is the last on the list. The video, please give it a like, and if you want to watch more videos of mine, just hop onto the main channel and just click onto the video that you like and enjoy most of my videos. And if you want to learn more about our channel, just hop onto our Instagram page, which is Junior on Cars, and also on Twitter is the same story, Junior on Cars. So bye.